All right, in today's lesson, we're going to be doing lesson 4, editing and combining shapes and paths. Just a reminder, in order to get to your textbook, the link for that is right here. For those of you who lost access or can't remember your password or for whatever reason, um, don't have access to your textbook online, there is a copy of it right here as a PDF. It's not as good, so I would definitely use your link in the textbook. We're going to go to today's folder, and you'll see that this is what we're going to be creating today. The first thing you should do is click and download the L4 Start. Once you download that, then you're going to want to go to Creative Cloud, and you're going to want to open up Illustrator. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and open up that file that we downloaded. All right, and you're going to see here, this is what we have to work with. We're going to be learning how to cut with the scissors tool, join paths, work with the knife tool, outline strokes, work with the eraser tool, create a compound path, work with the shape builder tool, work with the pathfinder effects to create shapes, work with the reshape tool, edit strokes with the width tool, and then use intertwine. This starts on page 110 in the textbook. And the first thing that we're going to do, now that we have this file that we downloaded from Schoology open, is we're going to go ahead and save it to our Creative Cloud so we don't lose our work. And we're going to name it Diner Poster. And we'll save it. All right, so jumping right in, we're going to be starting out with editing paths and shapes. So in Illustrator, you can edit and combine paths and shapes in lots of different ways to create your artwork. Sometimes that may mean starting with a simpler path and shapes and using different methods to produce more complex paths. So we're going to use the scissors tool. But before we get started using our tools, we're going to go up to our workspace right here. We should be on Essentials Classic. That's going to give us the most tools, and then we're going to go ahead and hit Reset Essential Classic, so that way everything is reset back to the default. If it's too hard for you to find this little switch workspace icon, you can go to Window, Workspace, and then do it also here, whichever way is easier for you. We're going to go up underneath the eraser, and that's where you'll find this scissors tool. So the scissors tool allows you to cut and divide shapes. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and click on our selection tool, click on the open 24-hour sign. And as you can see here, this is what we start with, and this is what the shape that we want to end up with after we edit the shape with these different tools. So go ahead and click on the open 24-hour sign. If you hit Control Plus, you can zoom in on that. That way we can see better. You're going to grab your scissors, and you're going to want to go until you see like right here in the middle where it says intersect, and then you're going to click your mouse button. That way you can cut that area. All right, and then once you cut it, you're going to want to grab the white arrow, which is your direct selection, and then grab that point and then drag it to the right or left a little bit, and then drag it up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect these two lines here. So we have this green border throughout, and we're going to do that just by joining it. So you're going to want to click the box that's around open 24 hours and hold shift, and also click the text So that way you have them both. And then we're going to go to object up here on the top, path, and then join. But let's do the black arrow, which is a selection tool. Click that, object, path, join. And for some reason it's not working. So we're going to click away. We're going to click the gray fill. Oh, there we go. We're selected. And then we're going to go to object, path, and then join. Oh, we don't want to connect. We don't want to click on the text. That's my fault. Now we want to click on the text. So we have the text and the box, and we're going to group that together. I just got ahead of myself. No problem. You could have also, if I do undo, I can ungroup it and then do that. Instead of going object, path, select, or join, you could also just click over here and go join. And then shift, click on the text, and then group. Or you could have hit group over here. Whichever makes it easier for you. All right, so now we have that grouped. We're going to move down to the head of the dog. You can zoom back out to see what it's supposed to look like, or if you're looking in the textbook, you'll see. But we're going to learn how to cut with the knife tool. So if you go up underneath scissors or eraser, you're going to see the knife tool. We're going to go ahead and hit our selection arrow, and we're going to select the like the muzzle part of this dog head, then the knife, and then you're going to want to cut a piece out of the front for the nose. So you're going to cut or click on the selection tool, click off, and then you can just click just that nose that you just cut, go to your fill, make it black, and now we have a nose. So it's pretty cool. So the next thing we're going to do, now that we're done with the nose, is we're going to learn how to cut in a straight line with the knife tool. So this is pretty simple. So we're going to go ahead and select the muzzle again. We're going to select the knife tool. And then we're going to move the pointer just above the top of the shape. So just like right here, we're going to press the caps lock key to turn on those little crosshairs. See that crosshair that just popped up? And then we're going to put it back to where it goes. And if you hold Alt, you can click and drag a straight line. See how it's straight? And I want to connect it to this other side so we can go straight across, and then boom. And then we just cut that right there. So go back to your selection tool, select off, click just this, and we're going to change that color to a lighter tan, and then boom, we got that. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select all these and then group them. That's going to make our life easier. If you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see this brown rectangle. This is going to be the ear for the dog head, and we're going to use the erasing tool. So go back up to your knife, click on the erasing tool, and then this is going to allow us to erase areas from our vector artwork. With nothing selected, you can erase any object that the tool touches. If an artwork is selected, you can only erase that. piece of artwork. So click on our selection tool and we select this box or this rectangle, and then the eraser, it will erase everything that it touches on that object, but nothing else behind it. So just so you know how that works, you can go ahead and double click the eraser icon on your toolbar, and then that'll give you the option to change the size, angle, and roundness and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and put that at 60 points right here. You can just type it in. You can drag the slider, hit OK. And then we're going to want to like round off this box. There we go. And you can do it a couple times till you get it to the shape that you want. I'm going to go ahead and use the direct selection tool. And remember, when you use this, you can click on one corner and then round it off. If you hold shift, you can click on multiple and then round them all off at once. Whatever way makes your ear turn out the way that you want it to turn. And then we're going to go ahead and select that, tilt it a little bit until we get it to the position we want. And we're going to put that ear on this little doggy's head. And then boom, just like that, we're good to go. Let's select them all, group it, and we will be good. So if we zoom out, you'll see pretty much looks like this dog head right there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to save our work so we don't lose anything. If you come to File and then Save, if Save is black, that means it has not been saved in a minute. If it's grayed out, like it says right here on these ones, that means it's already been saved. But let's click Save, and then we'll save our work. All right, so we're going to go down here to the bottom where it says, see where it says 1. We're going to choose number 3, which is our poster. And then we're going to erase in a straight line. So go ahead and select that big green circle. And if you hit the Control plus, you can zoom in. That way we have a good work area. If you hold space bar, it gives you this little hand so you can move it around. And we're going to go back to the eraser and double click on that eraser. We're going to change this to like 300. Boom. That's going to give us a big old circle. Let me zoom out just a little bit. All right. So in order to erase in a straight line, we get our selection tool. This is selected, so that means that's what we're going to erase. Go back to the eraser. And if we hold shift, like I'm going to line it up here on the bottom of this artwork, right about there. Hold shift and then drag it right. I can't go up and down. It'll only go left and right straight. And you see how it's erasing like this other green circle. But as soon as I let go, it only erased the one that was selected. Remember? So we can go ahead and click the smaller circle. Click back to our eraser, get it lined up. Boom. And then both those circles are erased, and we erased it in a straight line. Looks all nice and neat. It's pretty cool. So we go ahead and go to File, Save. Since I did all that really, really hard work, we're going to go to number 2, which is our signage layer, number 2. And then I'll go to my selection tool, and I'm going to choose to select the red one. And then I'm going to hold shift, and I'm going to click on the green one. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to create a compound path. So whenever I think of a compound path, I like to think of like a donut shape created from 2 circles. holes appear where the paths overlap. A compound path is like a group, and the individual objects in the compound path can still be edited or released if you don't want them to be a compound path anymore. So we have those two circled. We have those two circles selected. And then if you go over into your properties panel, you're going to want to do the horizontal align right there. And then you're going to do the vertical align right there. And as you can see, it put those two shapes together. And then with the two circles still selected, we're going to go to Object, Compound Path, and then Make. So Object, Compound Path, and then Make. And then boom, it just cut out the middle, just like the donut I was talking about earlier, right? Now we want to take this circle and put it around this part of this symbol up here to make it like the border on the outside. So what we're going to do is basically kind of the same thing that we just did. So we're going to hold Shift and we're going to hit Select. And then we're going to click this outer line of the green circle, and it should click Shift, and then we click on that path. See how it made this like a darker thing? That makes that the key object. So what we're going to do is we're going to align it horizontally and vertically, and it's going to align it to this circle because this circle is the key object, and that's where we want to put this border around, if that makes sense. So when you do this horizontal and then vertical, and then boom, it's going to pop it right around there. Now yours should say Dachshund Diner. Not really sure where my text went, but I will put that text back in there, and then we will be good to go. All right. So I'm going to go File and then Save. And then let's see. You don't have to worry about doing this part, but just for like visual, I am going to try and see. There it is. If I can put this text back in there. I'm not really sure what happened to it. I might have been messing around and deleted it, but it'll be on the one that you download from Schoology, so don't worry about that. All right. So continuing on, we're going to learn about outlining strokes. So a path, like a line, can only have so many things done to it. For example, you can only erase a line to shorten it, to erase a line or a path so it looks like what you see in the figure in the textbook. You need to turn it into a shape by outlining the stroke. So we're going to go back over to our artboard number 1, which is our poster parts. Just go ahead and click on one of those pieces of grass and then go ahead and zoom in, Control plus. And then we're going to go ahead and outline this stroke. So once we get in there, you can go object, path, and then outline stroke. And that's going to give us, it's going to turn it into an outline so we can edit it. We're going to go ahead and click on the eraser. If you double click on it, I would go ahead and set that back to 60. So 300 like we were using before. And then what you're going to want to do is make these green rectangles into like a leaf shape. So I'm going to cut some parts off of it like this and like this. And then we got to go back, click on the next one. You got to remember to select it. Clicking here ain't going to work. You got to click that line because it's literally just a line. And then you go object, path, outline stroke, and then go back to your eraser. Ooh, I did not like that one. And then we're going to select this one, object, path, outline stroke, eraser. Make your piece of grass. I did not like that one. Here we go. And then select this one, object, path, outline stroke, back to the eraser. And you can practice until you get the leaves looking exactly like you want them, or unless you're happy with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and select them all, and we're going to group it. So we're done with that. Go ahead and file and save. All right. So if we go down to the next thing, which is the cloud here, click on that and then zoom in. We're going to be doing some combining shapes. So creating more complex shapes from simpler shapes can be easier than making them with drawing tools like a pen tool. In Illustrator, you can combine vector objects in different ways. The resulting paths or shapes differ depending on the method you use in combining those shapes. So this section explores a few more widely used methods for combining shapes. The first thing we're going to do is the shape builder tool. So remember, we got to have a selection tool selected, and then go ahead and select these 3 circles. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to combine them with the shape builder tool. Draw a line through there. And that connected these 2 shapes into one object. And then we're going to go through here and create those together. So we have that. Let's see, I'm going to undo that. So if you hold the shift, you can drag like your little box and then it'll make it neater. So if you do, let me see. So I went like this, and I drew it with just a marquee tool, and see how it gave me this little piece right here that was all kind of messed up. If you hold shift and do it, you can see it's a lot neater, right? You definitely want to do that. We're going to click on our selection tool and bring this rectangle up. And then we can use our shape builder tool to get rid of the rest of this box, right? So we want to have everything select. Oh no, we don't want to have everything selected. We want just the box selected. Shape builder tool. Oh, maybe we do want everything. There we go. And then shape builder tool, and we can erase the box. You have to hold Alt, and then you can delete the box. That's my fault. But remember, when you have it selected, you can see if you hold Alt, see, Control Z, undo. Alt will give you the minus. Oh, let's take our caps lock back off for when we were using the other tool. We still had that crosshair, but you see how we have a plus? Hold Alt, you get a minus. Minus took away that box, right? So we're good. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. And then with this cloud we just created, selected, hit the eyedropper tool or the letter I, and then go ahead and select the color from the cloud over here to the right. And you'll be good. We're going to go down to this bush. And then we're going to zoom in. We're going to combine objects using the Pathfinder effects. So the first thing we're going to want to do is select the two circles, right? And if you look over here in your properties panel, you have Pathfinder. We're going to select this first icon, which is called Unite. So if you click Unite, and boom, it just put those two objects together into one. All right. And then if you click the three dots underneath Pathfinder, oh, hold on. Let's shift click this yellow box as well. And if we click the three dots under Pathfinder, we're going to click minus back button to knock the orange rectangle, which is in the back from the green shape. And the green shape is in front. So if we click it, boom, gone. And then we just created that. That object is going to serve as our bush. And then we are going to work on these clouds number 2 down here. So if you go ahead and select on that, then zoom in. Boom. So we're going to talk about understanding shape modes. If you alt click any of the default sets of Pathfinders showing in the property panel called shape modes, the result is not permanent. A compound shape rather than a standard shape is created. So the original underlying objects are preserved. As a result, you can still select each original object within a compound shape. Using a shape mode to create a compound shape can be useful if you think you may want to like retrieve some of those shapes in there. So I'll explain better what I'm talking about here. But let's see. We're going to go ahead and select all of these shapes. And then if we hit the Alt key and then click Unite, you can see we still have all those little shapes that made this shape up inside of here. Do that. If I was to click just Unite, you can see now I don't have those shapes. It's just the outline shape that I created. So if you hold Alt, you still keep those shapes. All right, you can go select and deselect, or you can hit Shift Control A to deselect it. And then let's see, we're going to go ahead and click on this. And they want us to we're going to go into isolation mode. So if you double click on this shape, look up here, you can see it says diner poster. It looks pretty normal. If we double click on this shape, now you can see that we're inside of this isolated group, right? So now you can like do certain things, editing them inside this group. If I hold Shift and I click on the top of this, I can drag this whole thing down like this.